We are honored to call her our sponsor, our fellow shipbuilder, and our friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Susan Ford Bayles.
Thank you, ma'am. Senator Levin, Mr. Vice President, Congressman, Governor, Secretary Rumsfeld, Secretary Kissinger, Captain Meyer, and crew out there, my fellow shipbuilders, members of Dad's administration, naval officers, distinguished guests, Uncle Dick, ladies and gentlemen. A presidential historian was once asked how he would describe Gerald Ford. And without any hesitation, in order to understand President Gerald R. Ford, 3 words tell you all you need to know: integrity, integrity, and integrity, and in that order. Today, we remember and honor a lifetime of integrity. An Eagle Scout, an All-American football player, a distinguished graduate of the University of Michigan and Yale Law School, a Navy lieutenant commander, congressman, vice president, and president. Of course, with his integrity came Dad's ever-present humility. Thus, he would have insisted that I focus today not on Dad himself, but instead on 2 very other special groups. Earlier, Matt referred to me as a Newport News shipbuilder. I have welded with you. I've been up in the big blue crane. I've calibrated valves. And last month, I operated the pumps to flood this dry dock. And yesterday, I worked on the ship's list control system. This shipyard's motto, always good ships, is not just a phrase. It's a way of life here for over a century. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can describe how proud I am to be your fellow shipbuilder. Your integrity and patriotic commitments to excellence are without equal. Shipbuilders of Newport News, you are a national treasure. In a few days, the newly christened USS Gerald R. Ford will leave this dry dock forever, but she will not leave it alone. Unlike ships before her, when the USS Gerald R. Ford leaves this dry dock, her future voyages will be different than those ships, much different. It is now my honor to make an announcement regarding the official name of CVN 78. Ladies and gentlemen, as the ship's sponsor and on behalf of Gerald R. Ford, I hereby declare that the name is the USS Gerald R. Ford, and it and shall be permanently united with the shipbuilders of Newport News Shipbuilding. Thank you, fellow shipbuilders. In the twilight of his life, my dad learned that Navy Secretary Winter was considering whether to name CVN 78 the USS Gerald R. Ford. Upon learning that news, and as Dad had done tens of thousands of times before, Dad wrote a letter. But this particular letter was unique. It was a very personal letter to a longtime friend, Greg Willard. This was a letter from Dad's heart. This was a letter about the United States Navy. This was a letter that expressed Dad's personal feelings about CVN 78 and her crew. And as we realized with Dad's death just 1 month later, this letter had special significance, very special significance. This letter was my dad's last. Captain Meyer, would you and your crew members and all of their family members please stand? In this and his last letter, Dad wrote, quote, "In closing, Greg, please permit me a personal reflection in my life. I've received countless honors, but none was greater than to wear the uniform of Lieutenant Commander in the United States Navy and on the aircraft carrier in the South Pacific during World War II. I learned to respect and to rely on my comrades as if my life depended on it, because often it did. And as a World War II veteran, I yield to no one in my admiration for the heroes of Omaha Beach and the heroes of Iwo Jima. But at the same time, I take enormous inspiration from their grandsons and granddaughters who are writing heroic new chapters around the globe. Thus, it is a great source of boundless pride and humility to know that an aircraft carrier bearing my name will be forever connected with the valor and patriotic service of men and women of the United States Navy," end quote. Captain Meyer and your crew members, as you heard in his own words, Dad was proud and humbled by each of you and the wonderful tribute your ship represents. But Dad would be even prouder if 50 years from now, that ship's captain and crew will pause to look upon this carrier and the other Ford-class carriers in the fleet and consider whether Dad deserved this tribute. In particular, will those future crew members consider Dad worthy of the motto of this ship, integrity at the helm? Today, Captain Meyer, you and your crew have spoken to those future crews about Dad's lifetime of integrity. You've expressed your own views about his integrity and its importance to this magnificent carrier. Dad, their message fills this shipyard. You kept your promise. You healed the nation. You gave the American people a president that was a shining beacon of integrity at the helm. And as demonstrated by Captain Meyer and by the crew and by this mighty carrier, the American people are forever grateful to you. And Dad, I'll always be proud. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the 38th President of the United States, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this extraordinary tribute to my dad. May God bless and watch over the USS Gerald R. Ford, those who build her, and the men and women who will sail her into harm's way. And may God's perpetual light shine upon Gerald Ford and Betty Ford and the nation that they love so well. Thank you.